The kingdom of Aethelgard once resonated with the magic of Arion's voice. He wasn't just a bard. He was the living heartbeat of the realm. When he sang of ancient heroes, listeners felt the clash of swords. When he whispered ballads of lost love, tears flowed freely. His melodies nurtured crops, soothed troubled minds, and bound the people together in shared memory and dream. Every village green, every castle hall felt incomplete without the warm timbre of his song rising like incense into the air. He was beloved, a gentle force as essential as sunlight or rain. But the new king, Thorn, ruled with a fist clenched around fear. He saw Arion's profound connection to the people not as a treasure, but as a threat. How could loyalty be commanded? Thorn reasoned. When hearts belong to a mere singer, jealousy curdled into malice. One bleak autumn night, royal guards stormed Arion's modest cottage. They dragged him before the cold, obsidian throne where Thorn pronounced his cruel sentence. Not death, but silence. A dark sorcerer, bound to the king's will, performed a ritual that didn't cut out Arion's tongue, but stole the very sound from it. The vibrant instrument that had painted emotions in the air was rendered utterly mute. The silence that descended upon Arion was a physical weight, heavier than chains. He stumbled back to his now empty cottage, the familiar walls echoing only with the terrifying void within him. He tried to hum, to gasp, to scream. Nothing emerged but strained, voiceless breath. His hands, once so expressive as they plucked the lute strings, hung uselessly by his sides. The vibrant colors of his world seemed to leach away, replaced by shades of gray despair. He felt less than a ghost. Ghosts could wail. He was a shell, filled only with the deafening roar of absence. The music that had defined him, sustained him, was gone, leaving a chilling vacuum. Days bled into weeks, a monotonous stream of grief. Arion wandered the familiar woods outside the village, a place that once inspired his sweetest melodies. One brittle morning, utterly broken, he collapsed beneath a great, gnarled oak. He pressed his forehead against its rough bark, shoulders shaking with soundless sobs as his tears fell silently onto the moss below. His ear, pressed close to the trunk, caught a rhythm. Thump, thump, thump. It was the slow, steady pulse of the tree's vast lifeblood. A deep, resonant heartbeat felt more than heard. It was a sound that existed beyond words, beyond song, yet profoundly alive. A fragile curiosity stirred within him, a tiny spark in the overwhelming dark. He began to truly listen, not for melody, but for the hidden symphony of the world. He heard the intricate counterpoint of birdsong weaving through the branches, the rhythmic rasp of a woodpecker, the whispering susurration of the wind through dry leaves. A complex, wordless conversation. He noticed the rhythmic clink-clink of a blacksmith's hammer drifting from the distant village, the steady creak-creak of the mill wheel turning by the river. These weren't melodies he could sing, but they were patterns, rhythms, the very foundation of music itself. One misty dawn, a small figure appeared at the edge of the clearing. Elara, a village child known for her own profound silence, born without speech, drawn perhaps by shared quiet, she approached Arion. Her large, expressive eyes held no pity, only gentle recognition. She sat beside him on the moss. Then, hesitantly, she picked up a smooth stone and tapped it gently against the oak's root. Tap, tap, tap. It was a simple, clear sound. She looked at Arion, her eyes questioning. A tremor, not of sorrow but of something else, ran through him. He searched the ground, found a sturdy stick, and tapped it softly against a different root, answering her rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. Word of this silent communion spread like a secret through the oppressed village. People began to venture to the oak, not seeking the songs they mourned, but bringing their own sounds. A farmer rapped his calloused knuckles on a hollow log. A potter clicked two fired clay cups together. A weaver brushed a shuttle rhythmically against her loom frame. A shepherd shook a pouch of dried beans. There were no lyrics, no familiar tunes, just a growing tapestry of shared rhythm and resonance, building under the ancient oak. It was raw, powerful, and utterly defiant. Thorn had stolen a voice, but he couldn't steal the innate human need to connect, to resonate, to speak without words. Arion watched, tears finally flowing with a different kind of intensity. Tears of awe. Elara sat close, Her small hand resting near his on the moss. He couldn't sing the old songs, he couldn't tell tales of valor or love with his voice, but the deep, resonant pulse of the oak beneath him, the intricate rhythms created by his people around him, the trusting presence of the silent child. These wove a new kind of understanding. His music hadn't died. It had transformed. It lived in the heartbeat of the earth, in the courage of his people finding their own percussive voices, and in the quiet bond forged with Elara. The bard's voice was silenced, yet in the profound listening, in the shared rhythm, in the unspoken community, a deeper, more resilient song had begun. It was the sound of spirit, unbroken, whispering through the rustling leaves and echoing in every defiant tap and clack long into the peaceful night.